Hey there everyone, thanks for tuning in. Coolest Firearms, Marlow, Oklahoma. We had an amazing show this past weekend down there in New Braunfels. We want to say thank you to not only Premier, Michelle, Tim, for getting that show going. We also want to special thanks to the New Braunfels police officers keeping us safe there. It was great having you there. Thanks so much. Now everyone that came in, we saw the firearm on display. It's a 7.5 inch, 300 blackout, coolest Drive. Talking about our features over and over. We're gonna have to talk a little louder today. We're polishing concrete outside that garage door there. We're pouring a new pad. There's some new stuff coming from Coolest. But without further ado, let's draw that winner.
5, 4, 3.
Remember, we got 5 minutes. 5 minutes to get back to us.
Jason S.
All right, our winner from the New Braunfels show is Jason S. Jason S. Allie's going to give you a call and shoot you a text message. We've got 5 minutes to reply, or else we'll pull another name from the randomizer. This week I wanted to talk a little bit about taking that muzzle brake off your gun to install that suppressor that you bought. I've alluded to this in the past. This is called a reaction rod. The front of the rod has a spline cut on it. The spline is designed when you put your upper receiver over it. The whole idea is your barrel fits over this splined area and it locks in. So when you're up here and you're loosening this muzzle brake, you are putting all of the pressure on the rod and on the spline, not on the upper receiver itself. So most factories, a lot like us, we initially manufacture the firearms. We use a crush washer, or also known as a crash washer. We attach that muzzle device onto that barrel. The crush washer acts like a lock washer. It looks like a cone. The cone is actually supposed to face up. We tighten it down, and then we can index that muzzle brake so the appropriate part is facing up and the appropriate part is facing down. It gives us some adjustability. Thank you so much. That quiet.
Is this Jason? Yes, you won! You won the
How awesome. Jason has called us right back, and obviously we've got a great winner here from New Braunfels. Well, let's finish talking about installing a muzzle brake. Now, this obviously isn't a firearm, so hopefully YouTube, Instagram, Facebook is okay with this. But when you put your muzzle brake on, it needs to be put on and shouldered correctly. So the flat edge here needs to mate to the flat edge here with the barrel. We also make what we call timing washers. They're very thin pieces of metal that are perfectly machined. So when you bring this muzzle brake down and you tighten it down, you can create up and down. Now Sylvan, who we use a little bit of their suppressors, doesn't have an up and a down. It's a universal fit. So with this, as long as this mating surfaces are clean and true, we can snug this right down and snug it right to the barrel. And we get great concentricity, meaning when this is all the way down, the muzzle brake isn't pointed anywhere other than perfectly down the bore line. So when you're putting that suppressor on, please take off that crash washer. Take it off. You may have to cut it, but get it off the gun. Use your timing washers that came with the muzzle device when you bought that suppressor. And if you didn't buy a muzzle device when you bought that suppressor, reach out to the company. They have them. They'll ship it to you. Even Amazon stocks some of these timing washers that you may need. And let's get that muzzle brake on correctly, because your point of impact will be so much better. If that suppressor isn't perfectly lined up, you should expect that round to not hit what you should be hitting. How do we know it's on there correctly? We'll take the suppressor off, shoot a couple rounds downrange, put the suppressor on, and see what changes. It shouldn't change much. Your point of impact should be almost exactly the same. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be a couple weeks. I think we're going to do a little video next week on something new that we're going to launch. We'll see how it goes. If it does, we'll post it out there. But congratulations to Jason S. Thanks to my team this weekend. You guys rocked. We had a great time down there in New Braunfels. Tune in again. We'll talk soon.